So every vector and its two components form a right triangle, where the magnitude of the vector is the length of the hypotenuse. In order to find the lengths of the other two sides, which are the components, we need to be given an angle. If this was the angle, then we would label the adjacent and opposite sides like this. And if we were given the other angle, the opposite and adjacent sides would just be flipped. But we're going to use the first angle. So here are the three trig functions that we know: sine, cosine, and tangent. For this right triangle, we're given the hypotenuse and an angle, and we want to find the adjacent side and the opposite side. The tangent function doesn't include the hypotenuse, so it's easiest if we just use sine and cosine. First, let's figure out the adjacent side length. If we rearrange this equation by multiplying both sides of the equation by the hypotenuse, then we get this. The hypotenuse times the cosine of theta equals the adjacent side. So let's label the adjacent side with that. Now let's find the opposite side. For that, we're going to need the sine function, which includes the opposite side. Just like before, we can rearrange this equation by multiplying both sides by the hypotenuse, and now we get this. The hypotenuse times the sine of theta equals the opposite side. So we'll replace the opposite side with that. To make this simpler, let's call the hypotenuse m for the magnitude of the vector. So in this case, the x component is m times the cosine of theta, and the y component is m times the sine of theta. However, if we were given the other angle, now the x component is m times the sine of theta, and the y component is m times the cosine of theta. This might seem like it can get a little tricky, but all you need to remember are the trig functions, which will tell you which component is which based on the angle you're given. The opposite side from the angle is always m times the sine of theta, and the adjacent side to the angle is always m times the cosine of theta.